Welcome to Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed, a space to connect with spiritual insights, open-minded perspective, and healing transformation. Hosts Kelly Eckhardt and Cheryl Murphy are working evidential psychic mediums, spiritual teachers, and published authors who are coming together in friendship and teamwork to serve through the energy of spirit, healing, and animal communication. Each week, we invite you to join in a mixture of candid discussions, visits from guests and experts, intuitive development, and live readings to encourage everyone while exploring their multifaceted spiritual path. Come ready with questions and curiosities. And now, here are your hosts, Cheryl Murphy and Kelly Eckhardt.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our new season of Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed. We just want to welcome everyone to our new show. I hope you're able to say hello to us when you log in. We are so excited. We have been waiting for this day. Let me say hello to my cohort. Hello, Kelly. How are you?
I am excited. And can I just say, this is our first show, and we just got to see our intro video for the first time. And how cute was that video? Did you see the praying mantis?
I didn't see the praying mantis,
There was a
no.
praying mantis. And I'm like, yes. I loved all of it. I mean, what a great job that Kelly and I think it was Michael
Yeah, Michael.
did. Oh my goodness. I love it.
That was
Hello, Michelle.
Hello, Jose. Welcome everyone to our show. We're so glad to be back. And Kelly, I think we're into season 5. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what it feels like. I mean, we haven't really been very good at tracking it.
But
I'm going to say 5 it is, because it's been 5 years.
Yeah, it does. It feels like 5 years. We have had a great history. We have some great listeners, and we have new listeners. So for everyone meeting us for today's show, we just want to say how excited we are to be here. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We are going to have a great conversation today, all about spirit. And yep, you did see a cute in the intro.
Yeah. I love the intro video. Oh my gosh, that is the cutest thing ever. That was fantastic. I love what they did. It was beautiful. I'm so happy with the video. I'm so easy.
We want to thank the Sacred Spiral Network. We're on with them this season, so we want to say hello to everyone, all the audience members of Sacred Spiral Network. Thank you so much for having us. We want to welcome you to our podcast, to our platform. We'll be on every week at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. California, New York time, Eastern time. Thanks.
And I just want to say hi to everybody. Like, we have new people, but I see some familiar names, and like Frank Sullivan, and I recognize Michelle Cramps, and I saw who was that earlier, Jose. I mean, I just appreciate you guys coming and following us, always supporting us, and all the new people. We're excited to get to know you as well. Looking really forward to this new season and the collaboration with Sacred Spiral Network of what we all create and bring to life. So thank you. I'm really honored to be hosted by her, by Kelly and Sacred Spiral Network.
Yeah. And we have such great audience members, and we've introduced ourselves on different platforms, but this is our first time on Sacred Spiral, and we've really been excited about this. We've been waiting to come back, and right now, just this month, this date felt like the right time, with all that's going on in the world. So many people have questions. Everyone is becoming more sensitive. So that's what Kelly and I know that's what we're here for. We're here to help you and to really help, share with you what we feel, how you can empower yourself really as an intuitive.
Yeah, very excited about that. And we have been gone a while, Cheryl. I mean, we haven't been on our podcast. I know you've been doing all your stuff and I've been doing my things, but I haven't been online as much as you in the last 6 months. But
Mhm.
why don't you share with everybody what you've been doing?
I
Like,
know,
what you've
thanks.
been creating? What have you been having
You
happen?
know,
What's been going on?
yeah, well, what I've been creating is, not only am I having, a lot of fun with my Circle of Love, small group reading events, and I have one in a couple of days. And we're going to share the link with you in a moment because there's still a couple of tickets left. But so I do small group readings. But you know what I started lately, Kelly, was memberships like energy transformation sessions, which has been enormously powerful about really sharing with people how to learn about your own energy. That's what I love about it, how to learn how to be open and clear and balanced and really how to strengthen your energy field. And then also I have my Healing Prayer Circle membership. So I'm still doing a free one the first Sunday of each month. But then after that, for people who are interested in going a little bit deeper with angels and with prayer, with healing energy,
Mhm.
that's where my Healing Prayer Circle membership steps in. And I know that you can feel it when you join. When you join me on Sunday nights, every Sunday, it's like, oh my God, something amazing is getting ready to happen. And it does. It does every time.
It's so true. I haven't been in a while, but I do love your healing prayer circles.
Yeah.
They just feel so energetic, so, like, I feel so connected to the universe, to angels, to, like, all of it. I just feel all this love whenever I do it. It
Mhm.
is a beautiful thing. I feel very healed, and I have to say, when I need prayers, I go to your Facebook group. Those people are powerful.
Yeah,
Everybody who's part of that group, they are powerful.
they're
The people
powerful.
do
And
is just amazing.
they're learning about angels too. Like we're really going into angels this
Mm,
time right now where and so people who have never met angels or they feel connected but they are not sure, we practice that. We meditate. So it's
oh,
just a lovely time to spend together.
I love that. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
Thank
It's
you.
beautiful.
Thank you. I really enjoyed. I've been having a really amazing readings, and spirit's been coming through very powerfully, we'll say, and really intentionally.
I love
So
that.
I can tell that people are remembering is what's happening. People are remembering
It's
their soul
true.
connection.
It's interesting that you say that. I felt this big shift, this, like, I wanna say in the last few months with myself and with my readings as well, and it feels in some ways like I'm just overly sensitive,
Hmm.
and it's like almost I don't even know how to explain it, but it reminds me of my childhood, which is so interesting. Um, I don't know, but when
That
you mentioned that, I was like, "I'm experiencing something very different too," like, it's nice.
well, then tell us what have you been doing? What's going on with you? Because we want to know.
I've been doing a lot of traveling. I was really I wanna talk about manifestation because I was really blessed last year and this year, and I have to say I manifested 3 trips. I manifested Hawaii, Mexico, Hawaii, and then just now Egypt. So
Mm,
Mexico was like a silly thing. Somebody called me on the phone. I paid $299 and I got a week in Mexico with my husband. And,
wow.
of course, we had a few other expenses, but it was a pretty cheap vacation. And I thought, wow, that was kind of cool. I didn't even like reach out. Somebody just called me and gave it to me and I bought it. Right. And it was a great vacation. And then I really wanted to go to this workshop in Hawaii in November, but I couldn't afford it. It was too expensive, and 2 people couldn't make it, and I was gifted both of them for myself and my husband. All we had to do was, get to Hawaii. I have airline points, so I got to Hawaii and I did that for a week. That was an amazing thing, and then, same thing with Egypt. South Africa, that's where my husband's from.
How
Um
wonderful.
yeah, he's from Cape Town, South Africa. Anyways, so then I was gifted this Egypt trip because somebody got sick and they had paid for it and couldn't go.
Oh,
And I just had to buy my flight. So those are all blessings to me because there's been a lot of things going on in my life, a lot of changes. I had to
mm,
shut down my spiritual center, which was
mhm,
sad, but
mhm.
that just opens up more opportunities for a new direction for me, and I'm totally open for that. And we're making plans to be down south for a few months because we have a big job down there. So I'm putting together ways where I can do readings for people down there. I'm looking for a little office for the summer. Yeah.
It's wonderful,
So,
Kelly.
just like those kinds of things. I'm doing more things online now. And I've been teaching a lot online, and I'm doing my mentorships now, which I'm really excited and passionate about. I have a few mentorship students. I'm only taking 5 total, and I think I have a really affordable mentorship plan. It's really simple. If you can buy, it's 500 and you get 180 minutes, which you could spread out over 3 months, or you could use monthly.
Hmm.
And I work with you in 45 minutes or 90-minute sessions, whichever you choose to spend your. And then I work one-on-one, and it's very intuitively. I give you exercises to really push yourself, and I kind of tune into each person to decide what they need. It's really fun. I'm really enjoying it and love it. So
I love it that you're only, you're limiting the number of students you have. I mean, you really can put more time and attention then
yes, that's
into
the
each
plan.
individual
Yeah,
student. So
yeah,
it makes it more worthwhile, right?
yeah. So I mean, and I tried to make it so that people who are on a limited budget could afford it still.
Hmm.
You know, they could. Yeah,
And Kelly, let me ask you on the mentorship, are you teaching a group of 5 people or you're teaching 5 people
one on
individually?
one on
Oh
one.
my,
Yes.
private. So it's private
But I
mentorship.
have the opportunity. There is an option for a group who wants to buy it for 2 or 3 people. If they want to share the
Mhm.
time, they
Mhm.
can buy it, and then they share and they come together.
Wouldn't that be wonderful too?
Yeah. So like if there's like you have your friends and you all want to learn. I also started offering private home parties where you could have an intuition party where I teach a 2-hour little workshop for you and your friends, or mediumship, or whatever you'd like. So check that out. I just kind of put that up on my website as well.
That's fantastic. Hey, Michelle, we see Michelle logging in. Hey, Michelle, thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Well, Kelly, it sounds like you're just really coming back in a big way.
Well, I
So,
think the crystal store and the event center really took up all my time, and I feel
mhm.
like I got pulled away from my mediumship and what I was trying to create a little bit. So I'm excited to jump back into it nice and slowly and build it back up into a new direction. That's why I said I'm going in a new direction.
I love it. I love it. That's a great affirmation, right? New
Yeah,
direction for the new year. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Well, great. Glad to have you back.
Me too. A lot of changes, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
And thanks, Gail. We see a lot of people, a lot of good people coming in, a lot of friends we feel, a family, a community. We really do feel like we are part of a big community. So we always want to say thank you and hello to everyone. And really to remind people, look, we have a website called seeingbeyondradio.com where
Yes.
you can sign up for our mailing list. You can submit questions where we check our email. It's the email is
There you go.
questions@seeingbeyondradio.com. So
Yes.
you can submit questions here in the chat box, but you can always reach Kelly and I. Sometimes we always ask if of a special guest you think you'd like we could have on the show that will interview them. Always, if you have a specific topic or you're curious about learning something, please let us know, and we're happy to discuss that.
Yes, I love that, and I love, when people ask about, like, how our gifts work and things that they're going through, if we have any advice, so you can, put those questions in there as well. And I see a few people are asking if we're doing readings today. So, I think Cheryl and I discussed, this first show, we're gonna just kind of interview each other and catch up, and then we're gonna do readings on the next show, right, Cheryl?
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, we'll be doing readings next time because I know time's going to fly, and I want to make sure that if you're meeting us for the first time, that you really get a sense of Kelly Eckhardt, because Kelly's an amazing not only medium, but Kelly, you have such an interesting childhood. You came into this world before you came into this world, or something like that, right? You knew you were coming in before you were born. I mean, let's
Well,
hear your
I
just
was
hear a little
talking
bit because it's so amazing,
I
Kelly.
was
But tell
talking with
us.
a lady yesterday, and she was telling me I had to write a book, or not yesterday, 2 days
Yeah.
ago at the Goddess Festival, and she said, "Before the womb," and so I told her that's gonna be my book title because I love it so much,
Mhm.
and, I have memories of before I was born. I remember my most recent past life and several other ones. What I remember most about the past lives is how I died
Mm.
and transitioning to the spirit world. And I remember being in the spirit world for 13 years, watching all my siblings be born. And I also remember being 3 miscarriages because I, the soul, kept changing my mind about when I wanted to be, born. So those are some of them things, and I do remember actually being birthed. I know that's rare. And I also remember my whole first year of life, like everything. It's so weird. I remember my brain working and my thoughts working just like they do right now. I came in here remembering everything, and it was very confusing to be in this infant body, and it was very annoying and frustrating. Um, so yeah, childhood was a bit strange for me. I didn't really make friends until later in life because I was the odd child who saw dead people. Um, I think I scared everybody. So yeah, that's kind of my weird short version of my story. It's been a lot. I've had a few near death experiences when I was very, very young, and one as at age 25. And I'm grateful that my angels brought me back because they always bring me back
Well,
and tell
so
me,
so so here's the question. How did you get on your path? Like everyone will ask us, how what got you on your path? How did you
it
decide to
was Aiden, my youngest
ship?
son. He
Hmm.
was born and he's my mini me. He started seeing he was born an old soul in this baby body, and I just knew like this is like an old man in this little kid body, right? He just knew too many things. He would talk about my dad who died 6 years before he was ever born. He knew all kinds of things that he just shouldn't have known. Like at 3 years old, he knew how to do yoga and all the poses and all the hand things. And I was like, his preschool was like, "Hey, who taught him this to you? Are you into yoga?" And I was like, "No, I've never done yoga." So they were like, "He knows everything about yoga." And he is like 2.5, 3 years old. Those are he came in here knowing. So I thought, I have
Hmm.
to figure this out. The kid never could sleep because he said it was too noisy in his room. And so I started taking him to a child psychologist who was a psychic medium. And I started trying to develop and understand my gifts so I could help him and turn us off. That was my goal. But
Hmm.
instead, what happened was I fell passionately in love with this work. And I thought, oh my God, this is what I'm supposed to be doing my whole life. I finally felt whole.
Yeah.
And I taught him as much as I could, and the child psychologist who was a medium worked with him and helped him, and when he was about 12, he turned his gift off, which is never gone. He just kind of blocked it out for now because he wanted to be a normal kid. But he's the reason I started developing was to really kind of shut it off and help him shut it off, and then it turned out I fell in love with it. And this is all I wanted to do, and I told my husband, "You have to hire a bookkeeper." I quit. I'm gonna go talk to dead people, and he thought I was crazy. He was like, "Do I need to get it?" He's like, "Do I need to get you a therapist, or do we need to talk to the psych ward?" But he's super supportive. He really is. Yeah.
I think nowadays, when people want to talk to dead people, it may be more mainstream, but back then, and it wasn't too long ago,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it just wasn't that popular
Well,
or
I
common.
I knew that when I did decide that this is what I wanted to do, I was all in, and
Hmm.
I was not going to hide from anybody, so I posted on my social media, like, "This is who I am. If you don't like it, unfriend me," and nobody unfriended me. And as
Yeah.
a matter of fact, several people reached out to me and said, "I have these experiences too, and how do I get started?" And now
Mhm.
2 or 3 of those people, I think definitely 2, maybe 3, I can't remember, are now psychic mediums.
Mm.
So I feel like me being honest and open
Yeah.
encouraged other people to come forward,
Mhm.
and I feel good about that.
That's what it's all about. It's about learning and then sharing what we're learning and teaching what we learn because we do want to make it easier for everyone and we want to instill confidence in people who are nervous or doubt or have fear. That's our
Yeah,
goal is to say,
yeah,
look, we know what we know. We connect with spirit and it's
yeah.
fun. It's amazing actually. And it's so heartfelt.
And Cheryl, tell me, what is your story?
Yeah.
How did
Well,
you get started? Because I know you have an interesting
I
story
feel
too.
I feel I was an old soul, right, at a very young age, right? I just felt like I liked hanging out with adult conversation more than childhood conversation. I wanted to hang out where the adults were asking the big questions, right? Who
Mhm.
are we? How did we get here? What's in the afterlife? Is there an afterlife? That's where I was always headed my whole life. Now, in my family, my mom has always been the psychic. All of our ladies in the family. My mother had Edgar Cayce books growing up. We had so many psychic material that I got to read and really be a part of. I got to practice with my brother, closest in age. My brother and I it was play though. It was loving. It was always fun connecting with spirit. So that's how I grew up. It was just so common. And these
Yeah.
adult questions that here were these adults and I was still a child, right? I'm 13, well, growing up, and they're asking these big questions. And I'm like, I know that's what I want to go into. I know that's what I want to study. Like that's a passion. Like I'm going to look for those answers. I'm going to find those answers. I'm going to be able to share that information with people. And then through my experience, through my 20s and my 30s, I've had these amazing experiences with spirit where I've had angels, come to me during the middle of the day and really ask me to do this work full time and to step into it more. So I always knew it was my passion, and I knew I always wanted to do it as a full-time job, or a full career, I guess, a vocation, but didn't know how to do it. But the angels, spirit knew how to do it. They knew what my passion was. And that's how I feel. I had this amazing experience where these 3 or 4 light beings came in and sat with me, and really I was in an altered state, I have to say. I mean, it's just amazing when we do connect with divine source, how loving it is. And so ever since then, right? Ever since then, I have just been on this amazing opportunity that I'm deeply grateful for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. And I didn't mention this, but I also was surrounded by a bunch of spiritual stuff. I mean, I grew up in Venice Beach, and we played the Ouija board as a family. Instead of like Monopoly, we'd sit at the dining room table and talk to spirits. And I got my first tarot deck card when I was like 10 or 11 for my birthday from my older sister. And it was very open, but and I went to a Center for Spiritual Living in Santa Monica. It's still there. I had a different name then, but it's called the Center for Spiritual Living now. They altered their name. But I was very blessed, but I was also taught like not to talk about it outside of the house and keep it secret, and people won't understand, and things like that. So I grew up open, but with a stigmatism around it. So like I didn't want it. I tried to get rid of it. I wanted it to go away. I just wanted to be like everybody else, and I wasn't like other kids. Like other kids can just go out and have fun and drink and have a good time. I'd go and I'd have like this little angel on me all the time. Don't do that, Kelly. That's bad news. You're going to get in trouble. So I'd feel guilty. I could never have fun like the other kids. I was so connected to my angels,
Well, I wanted to talk about it too, but no one was talking about it. But I wanted to talk about it.
Well,
like
we should have met when we were kids.
We should have. But what was happening, Kelly, is the kids our age were not talking about it, but the adults were, and that's where. I started looking for my tribe, my community. I started taking classes just to find like-minded people because I wanted to have this conversation. I wanted to, you want to be with that energy of spirit and meditate and raise your vibration and, do readings or give healings.
It feels good. It's like, so here's a great question that somebody just asked. What are some amazing things that you saw before you accepted your gifts?
Oh, wow.
Do you want to share? Because I saw a lot too, but you go first.
Basically we would see, basically my brother would channel. I would say that as kids, he would channel and his voice would change, right? Okay. And we would feel spirit, and our lights would flicker in our house at a very young age. Like we had phenomena, I guess is what you'd call it, right? Paranormal phenomena, physical phenomena. So when I accepted my gifts, I feel like I've always accepted them, but I'm just so grateful that that a path opened up for me, an opportunity opened up for me to do it more and more. Right. Yeah. So always accepting of it, but really amazing experiences. We'll be sharing with you during, our time together, more of our experiences. So what about you, Kel?
So I, as a child, I caught my mattress on fire when I was 2.5 because I took the lampshade off the lamp because I wanted it really bright because I didn't want to see spirits when I went to bed. And I didn't like sheets because I was very sensitive to the feel of the textures. So I always pulled my sheets off every night and threw them on the ground. And I knocked the lamp onto the mattress and caught it on fire. And the whole room was engulfed in flames. And my brothers got out. And I was in the middle of all these flames in this beautiful hands came. They were like big, manly type hands. And they parted the fire, picked me up, and carried me through the flames, not one burn. And I remember feeling, I knew who this is. Like I was familiar with them. It was an angel. But at the same time, I was 2.5, 3, almost 3. I also thought, or is this a fireman? Like, And then shortly after they put me in a safe spot, and about 10 seconds later, the fireman broke down the door with an axe because the handle was too hot from the flames. And I was in the only spot that wasn't burning where the angel put me, on the other side of the room away from my bed. And they got me out through the window and they said, how did you get to that corner? And because your bed was completely engulfed, like everybody thought you died. And I said, oh, don't rave, it wasn't you, it was just my angels. But I mean, I literally saw them with my own eyes. It was like these beautiful hands, and they were so loving. I've seen spirit in my life in beautiful ways. I feel like I've seen earth angels come in and leave. Like that instance, I had another one at 11 and another incident at 25. So I would say I've physically seen my angels. They're very powerful. I'm very connected with them. And when I need them, they seem to show up. Yeah.
And how incredible that you lived to tell the tale in that fire, Kelly. That, I mean, that's
I caused.
Yeah, that, you were being held in spirit or guided, you were being protected.
Yeah. Well, then we had another fire when I was 7. So 5 days, but 5 to 7 days before the fire, every day, I was 6 or 7. I would go around blowing all the pilot lights out on the stove and on the wall heater. And I would get in so much trouble. My mom and dad kept yelling at me because I had to keep lighting the pilot lights. But I knew a fire was coming. And I packed up my brother's bags, and we had a friend sleep over that night, and I packed up his stuff, and I put everything by the front door ready to escape. And I telepathically told my mother, who worked nights as a waitress, to come home because I was able to do that with her. And she showed up and got us all out of the house and saved my dad. And the apartment got burnt down and we were evicted, but we had all of our important belongings. I grabbed everything we needed.
Oh.
And afterwards, nobody would talk about it.
Yeah. That's what happens, right?
Yeah, it was just like, you just don't talk about it. Yeah. So I've had some pretty incredible experiences. And why I didn't grow up like you, where I'm like, I want to learn more. For some reason, I felt like I had to not share, but trust it, but not share.
Yeah. And look, I mean, we've had experiences about, sitting in trance, I've certainly practiced, you practice learning about your energy, about bending spoons. I've certainly done that. I've bent and swirled and twisted.
Yeah, that's exciting.
And that is amazing energy. When you see how you can work with energy, you start really appreciating your energy, and you have respect for spirit. And look, the universe source is an intelligence. It's an intelligent, divinely guided, amazingly supportive and comforting, graceful energy to connect with. And that's what you and I do. And I know, I know in healings with people that I've had their loved ones step in and who departed and said, thank you for helping my daughter. I had a mom step in. She came into my bedroom upon my awakening. She had passed, but I was close to her daughter. And she's like, thank you for helping my daughter. And she walked around like my bed a couple of times thanking me. And just because her daughter was by herself, and I mean, really, I think, Kelly, you and I get confirmation back. We get signs back from spirit.
And that's something I did when I started developing it, because I am such a logical minded person. I knew about the gift. I believed in the gift, but I didn't trust that it was really a gift and that I wasn't just making it all up and really lucky. Yeah. So I asked spirit repeatedly for valid signs. Like, I need a sign to prove that I'm really communicating with my dad in spirit. Right. And I got them, like 3 signs in a week, and they were crazy signs. Like his cologne, my son suddenly was wearing Old Spice, which was my dad's cologne, an old man cologne. my dad played the bongo drums, and I'm asking for proof, and some kid pulls up right under my window where I'm sitting and starts playing the bongo drums. I mean, just some crazy stuff happens. So I really do think like spirit will if we're connecting with them and we're asking for things, they're going to provide it if we're open.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I had to learn. I'd never
So,
really thought about that, until I started developing.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
So someone is asking, hi, Snowflake is asking. So I do not see auras typically, but I actually saw a dark blue aura around my ex before I left, and it was very odd to me, and I don't know why it happened, but brought comfort.
Oh, interesting.
You want to comment on that, Kelly, or?
I don't often see auras either, but when I'm in an altered state, I will see the auras, and they're not always colorful. Sometimes they're more like white energy. But if I close my eyes, I get the colors, and I'll see them with the colors. So I see it more in my mind's eye. But it's possible that you are very clairvoyant, and there was something about him where it was trying to tell you that. So I'm just curious, what does dark blue mean to you? How does that feel to you? Because it would definitely be something connected to you, probably. That's why I'm thinking you're seeing the dark blue around him, because it's like your mind is saying this is the color we're seeing around him, and what does that mean to you is my question. What about you, Cheryl? What do you think?
I would also add that when you were seeing this Snowflake, you were probably at an emotional time. And when we're very emotional, we can open up those intuitive abilities to see, right?
Yes.
Because it's almost like when you're emotional, you're not in an altered state, but you're in your emotional centers, which are very intuitive, all right, and very sensitive. All right. So whether the experience was very sad for you or very happy, really it's about the emotion, that you were very emotional, and your spirit, your higher self, wanted to show you that you had this intuitive ability, right? So it's almost like a confirmation to you that you can see auras. And and I got to tell you, when you tell me you don't typically see auras, that's even more important for you to realize. And dark blue is a beautiful color. It's whatever, like Kelly mentioned, whatever it is means to you. Now, we use blue for the fifth chakra, for speaking up and speaking your truth. So maybe that's just part of what you are doing, right? It's also about higher knowledge and health. Yeah. So.
And it's interesting because these things do happen, and you were talking about the heightened sensitivities. When my son passed, I did a workshop on the Queen Mary with Mavis Patilla, and I got emotional in class and went to my room. I had a room on the Queen Mary, and I started crying hysterically, and I was so distraught. I was just so overwhelmed with grief. And I heard my son's voice. Now, I don't normally hear voices out loud. And he says, "Mom, stop crying. I'm okay." And oddly enough, it scared me because I was in a dark room on the Queen Mary. So I turned on all the lights and packed up and went home. It was almost like I knew I had to go home. Like I wasn't ready to do the workshop, I was too emotional, and he was just saying like to calm down, and he did. And I heard it out loud. I was in a sense of, stress. So that could be the same thing as Snowflake, when it heightens your sensitivities, and things are very much more like noticeable, or you feel them more or see them more. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So to answer that question, whoever asked also about fear and having those moments of fear, like I think sometimes absolutely you can be afraid. You're always going to be afraid with things that we don't know about, that we're unsure of. Yeah, thank you. Bernadette was asking, were there times when you felt fear earlier on in your journey?
As a child, only as a child, or around age like 2 to 5 or 2 to 7, because so many spirits were coming to visit me that were murdered, because I had just been murdered in my past life, is my theory, that they were coming to me. And then I would wake up and go watch the 11 o'clock news and wake my mom up and tell her that this girl's going to be on the news and she's buried somewhere and I know where she's buried. And I would get in trouble and I wasn't allowed to watch news. So that terrified me. And that's why I pulled, the sheets off my bed. That's why I had the lamp on. That's why I did all that as a kid. Even though I remembered all these things, I'm still a child. And it's weird. I came in here with the mind like this, but at a certain point in my first year of life, it kind of reverted to my age. I don't know how to explain that. Yeah.
I can remember as an adult, I was afraid. I was doing meditation all the time. I was in workshops. I was really opening up my energy. And I felt maybe, I wasn't balanced and grounded. And that is why fear started. Perhaps, my sleeping was off, when you're not sleeping well, you're always meditating, your diet, you're not eating properly or not eating enough, right? Because our metabolism raises when we do this work. And so it's very important, that's why I have my energy transformation sessions, is to teach people, look, grounding is so important, no matter whether you study mediumship or healing arts, or grounding is important for everyday life. It's an everyday intuitive ability. We should all practice grounding. And what I mean by that is grounding with Mother Earth and, eating a balanced meal, trying to live as balanced and healthy and happy as we can. But I was afraid because I was really feeling energetically, I was really feeling like out of my body a lot. So it was like, okay, now I got to work on getting back in the body. And that was your lesson. That is my lesson. And, is to practice. What does that mean? Right. So you're learning about energy. You're learning about your own skills. You're learning about respecting your body temple, so to speak, respecting your intuition, Yeah.
That, is interesting you say that, because I think as a child, I felt often, like almost daily, out of my body. Like I didn't ever really feel like I was connected here or grounded. And I think I was probably like that most of my adult life, because I was so connected there and here, and I prefer over there, like I'm just like, so I was always kind of like doing dumb things. Like because I was ungrounded. I was, tripping and falling. Like I just was like, I was forgetting everything, and so when I started developing and learning about energy and how I'm in charge of my own energy, like it really changed my life. I definitely feel much grounded, since I've been like developing and becoming a psychic medium over the last 14 years. But now I'm in another stage in life, right? Menopause, and I feel ungrounded again, and I'm having to work on grounding myself because my energy has shifted and changed. So it's interesting how, you have to keep adjusting to really manage and stay where where you need to be. That's the feeling I get.
Very true. And even not only managing our energy, but managing the world around us, right? And when the world around us, or when the collective is in a shift, or when the collective feels scarcity, fear, loneliness, abundance even, but we are very sensitive, right? Empaths or highly sensitive people, like just our awareness. So it's important to also use discernment and learning about discernment and understanding, is it your energy? Is it coming to you, through you, from you? Like what's happening? Because a lot of people do want to say it's all about them, but it's like, wait a minute, maybe you're okay and you're just experiencing something, from the collective, right? From the world events happening, or just from the area of the planet you're living in. If you're living near the water, for example, that could be a very emotional time for you, right? If you live near, if you're in the nature, in woods, if you have a lot of beautiful trees around you, hopefully you're more grounded then. But that can also be, maybe you're feeling a little heavy. So you have to really balance this.
And so is the out of body feeling similar to disassociation? I don't know if my answer is going to be the same as Cheryl's, but I'd have to look that up, because for me, disassociation sounds real negative. And I want to say my out of body feeling does, and maybe it's not, but it is kind of like disassociation for me in a sense. I feel like I'm not in my body, like I'm kind of outside observing more,
Mm.
and that my body's experiencing everything, but I'm kind of like detached. That's how I was as a kid. And the odd thing is that recently I've started feeling that way again. But I'm working on grounding, and I think it's because of world events like Cheryl just mentioned. I've been very traumatized by the news. Again, I'm being banned from the news by my family. And and it has affected me in a way where I think what I do when I get overwhelmed or fearful about what's happening in our world is I revert back to my spirit sense. I go back to
Mhm.
like that lighter side where I feel safe. And so that's why I think I feel that way at this point. It does feel like I'm disassociated from my body, but for me it's more of an out of body experience because when I'm as a child and even now, if I go into a deep meditation, I can actually physically leave my body and go travel, and I can see my body below me, and I can go through walls, and I can go visit somebody who's in a coma in the ER, and when they come out of the coma, they can say they saw me there. So I know I'm traveling. That's out of body for me. So maybe I'm in between the two.
And I can say, I've had some amazing out of body experiences. Like I wouldn't trade them for the world. I mean, the ability to manifest instantaneously, to be able to realize that you are a co-creator and that whatever you think, feel, and behave is being manifested right in front of you, and the alignment and the synchronicity of events and the intensity of the beauty
It's
of who
so
we are. So in that way, it can be like the most just really life-giving or spiritual awareness lesson that we can do and practice. So I do believe when we are reminded of these, feelings, when we're reminded of who we are as spiritual beings, we experience it in all different ways, right? You don't have to do one to get that feeling or to have that experience. You're going to experience your own life, your own world as your higher self wants you to, as your subconscious wants you to. I mean, there is a lot there to unpack. But really, if we step into gratitude, if we just can live a day to day life of kindness, practicing gratitude, humility, giving, sharing, and really finding that, to be in service is such a high vibration.
it
And
is.
when you can lead your life from the heart, you will have an amazing life, an amazing journey.
It's true. I have to say, the minute I decided to learn about this and develop my gifts, it was like life. For me, it was life changing because I never really had like a lot of close friends. I've never really resonated with like most people, and the friends I did have was 5 friends from childhood, and I'll have to say, like those 5 friends we were all a little bit spiritual as children, and connected probably because of that like attracts like, and that was my friend group. They're like my sisters, right? So when I started this path, this journey, for the first time in my life, I made friends so easily because I could just be me
Mhm.
and everybody accepted me. And I felt normal because we were all like the same. It wasn't like I had to hide who I was. But even the first, I would say, almost 10 years, I still didn't talk about my past, my near death experiences because I felt like it was weird and people were going to be like, judgmental of it. So it wasn't until recently I started sharing those stories. So yeah, I mean, it is a beautiful thing. And I've met some of the nicest people, Cheryl's one of them, on this journey that I feel like are more there for me sometimes than my own family and my own like close friends.
Mhm.
Like, we're just like, it's a beautiful community, and I feel so blessed and lucky to be involved in it and surrounded by such amazing people. Yeah. So for me, it's been life-changing developing and learning my gift and
Mm.
accepting it and being me.
Very gratifying.
Yeah.
Someone had written in one of the questions for Jose said, full moons sometimes affect him too.
Me too. Can't sleep.
So we have to just,
Yeah.
say thank you for bringing that up because full moons do affect people. And we,
Much.
that's why it's important to understand about energy and to learn about your energy and to learn when you're feeling more intense or more angry or more happy or more tired or more energetic, that the moon phase plays a role.
It's so important. And I didn't believe it. I just thought it was like a thing that people say, oh yeah, the ERs are always busy on full moons and da da da. But it's true. Energetically, as a child, anytime there was a full moon, I never could sleep. I had so much energy that I was like wired, right? Even now as an adult, I'm a little bit older now. I can sleep when I need to sleep, I sleep. But on a full moon, I would say my gifts feel even more active and I feel spirit so much stronger. So I try to always schedule a lot of my events around a full moon. Not always, but I try to, because I feel like if I do it around like the day before, the day of, or the day after, it seems really powerful to me. I love it. Yeah.
And how a person can tell is to is to pay attention to your own energy around a full moon and really start learning about the full moons, the new moons, and learn about, astronomy if you want, or astrology or numerology or the tarot or angel card readings or, healing arts, however it is that you feel connected, that you are drawn to, and and always be aware that that's going to change. Our work as mediums shifts, right? The spirit directs us to work in different modalities sometimes.
I'm shifting right now. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, I've felt a huge shift over the last 3 or 4 months. It's been difficult because I think I was struggling with the shift or fighting it because I don't know why I was doing that, but I think you instinctually, when your body feels this shift or this change, you instinctively like want to go back, right? So I'm learning to give into it. And so I've surrendered and I've been doing a lot of painting of rocks because it calms my soul. And I got watercolors. And that's why I'm kind of getting through and grounding myself now.
Well, look, we need to do some rock painting here, because the energy of rocks is truly incredible. They have the stories and the history. And look, when Kelly and I teach, we teach people to connect with trees and nature and to, anything that's from nature is a high vibration. And I always tell people that nature is God in physical form. Okay, that's the highest vibration if you want to see what God looks like. What is this your rock?
A couple of them.
Oh, you're a good painter.
I'm lucky. You should see. I'll have 10 flops and 1 good one.
Oh, you're a good painter.
Well, thank you.
But lessons that you and I have learned along the way, Kelly, for example, that love never ends, right?
That's not.
Love never ends, right? What are some lessons that we can share with people?
Well, I think my favorite lesson that I get from Spirit and all the readings I've done is that life is about living in the moment and that material things don't matter because when you die, all you take with you are your memories. That's all you have. And so those are the most important things. It's about being present, making the memories, and spending the time with the people you love. None of the other things matter, not the material things, not your phones or your computers or your 90-inch TV or whatever it is, or your fancy car. All that matters when you leave this world is those beautiful memories and those connections that you made and the way that you affect people. How did you treat people and how were you treated and what kind of healing we've done. So the important things in life should really be focused on our healing, our living in the moment, and sharing with our family. That's what I've learned.
That's great.
What about you, Cheryl?
Yeah, well, one of the many lessons I've learned is when people are feeling lost, or they feel like they don't know where they're going, or why don't they know where they're going? They're very hard on themselves. I understand. Spirit has shown me that is transformation. And we don't give that enough attention sometimes, that people are being redirected, that spirit is working with them, that this is what change feels like. It feels like the rug's being pulled out from under you sometimes. It's uncomfortable sometimes.
Mhm.
And then really what are your lessons to, what are you supposed to do during that, right? Your lessons are, right, to be kind to yourself, to be gentle, right? To pray or to meditate,
Mhm.
maybe to slow down a bit, get some more sleep, maybe journaling, right? Spiritual journaling, or talking to friends, or drawing on rocks or crystals. Uh, but it is about being guided and directed, and kind of knowing that if you don't feel that at the moment, you are being worked with, your guides are working with you,
Yeah.
and you will feel centered again. You will feel in alignment again. You will feel connected again. And that, spirit is never far behind, that spirit always has your back.
It's so true. And I was going to add one more thing to that, and I just drew a blank. There goes menopause kicking in. The menopause brain. You were saying something about, I was going to add also another lesson I've learned, because I noticed that in our society, we're taught like early on as children, like, stop your crying, don't cry, get over it, suck it up.
Mhm.
Like, these are the things that I was told growing up, right? But crying is actually such a beautiful release of energy,
Mhm.
and it's a way of healing. And if you hold that in, you're not allowing yourself to heal or let go of things that you don't need anymore. So I was going to say the other lesson I learned is that it's okay to cry. And if you need to cry once a day, like, it's okay. It's a release of energy. Just like, don't hold in a yawn or a sneeze. Like, you got to release those, right? um,
I love
but
it. And that
it's energy.
crying is actually healing.
Yes.
So it,
Yeah.
like you said, it's releasing, but it's also healing. It's releasing a hormone, or whatever the
Yeah, but
science is
you
behind
feel
it.
better afterwards.
Yes, it's actually healing.
And I'm really good at crying. I wanna say I've mastered it, but it took me a long time. Yeah, I think losing a child helped me with that, because I was like, "I'm not gonna hold this in, I'm gonna cry wherever I can and wherever I want. I don't care what anybody says." And now I'm just like, "Wow, it feels so good once I've cried." Like, I just feel, like, much better afterwards. So I wanna say, like, that's something I've learned on my own, but also I feel like spirit tells me that too.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
Yeah. And I will add that, people say, I don't know how to connect to my loved ones. How do I connect with them now that they're gone? And what I've heard back from people who are connecting is that, you know what, Cheryl, I just had to learn how to do it in a different way. They're
Yes.
just coming to me in a different way. That's all. But they're still my dad, or they're still my mom. They're still my son. They're still my brother. But they are just connecting with me in a different way. They flicker the lights, or they drop coins, or I feel them, or I see signs in other ways. And that's really the beauty of the afterlife, or of heaven. And, we're in that energy now. So, when I hear that from people, I know that they are making that connection, that they're open enough to receive a sign in a different way.
It's beautiful. But even some mediums don't get signs. So if you don't get a sign, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean they're not there trying to give you signs.
Mhm.
There's other things that could be interfering with them. I just wanted to state that because I know,
Yeah,
like,
no,
some
please.
mediums, like Cindy Kaza, she's doing a documentary about it. Her brother passed away, and she always said to her brother, because he was dying, "Well, I'll get to talk with you afterwards." And she's like, "I have not been able to connect with him." And she's
Mm,
like an amazing psychic medium. And it
mhm,
happens.
mm,
It just happens. And why is what her documentary is. She's wondering, like, why she can't feel him. Where did he go? Like, what's
mhm,
going on? And
mhm.
for me, I feel like when we can't get the signs, or we're not seeing the signs that we want, that there's a reason. So we have to look at that, like, look at ourselves. Maybe, are we blocking them? Are we actually paying attention for them? Are we aware, being, grounded and aware, and being open to these signs? I don't know if that's the reason why either, but I'm just saying those are questions to ask. What about
Yeah.
you, Cheryl?
Well, I do feel like it is normal. I mean, it's not like there's something wrong with someone who's not
Right.
getting the sign. But in some way, we do have to trust the divine timing of things. We do have to surrender, because we do play a part, I do feel. So we have to have that, patience, Also maybe working in another area, working with other guides or other departed loved ones, and then maybe that will help you open up in other ways.
Yeah.
But yes, if you're not a person who gets signs from your loved ones, and that's perfectly okay. Sometimes that's when a medium steps in to help you on your way, and that's what you and I do.
Sorry, I had an itch on my back.
I do know we're getting towards the end of our time, and I wanted to make sure people knew about how to contact each one of us, Kelly. So would
Yeah,
you please share with us your contact information and what you'd like to
sure thing. So you
end
can
this
find me
with?
on my website at mediumkelly.com, and Kelly is spelled with an EY, so it's Kelley. And on all my social media, I'm at Medium Kelly, EY again, and that's the same thing on YouTube as well. I think that's it, right? Those two, Medium Kelly, and the website's Medium Kelly. Yes. Yeah.
And please, for those of you that are watching us on YouTube or however you're watching us, please subscribe, like, follow us, share our program, uh, and we'll be back next Tuesday. I just want to let people know that my website is at mediumcheryl.com. My channels are Medium Cheryl. My website's Medium Cheryl. But please, Kelly and I are both pretty active on our email list. Please sign up for our newsletters on both of our websites. We're connecting through these podcasts, but we're also connecting independently. We do our own thing also. But Kelly, I'll look forward to seeing you this summer. But for right now, for everyone, we want to just say thank you so much for coming to today's show. It's a big deal. We are just thrilled to be back. We have so much excitement, and it's because of you. It's because of all of our listeners that we love coming here, Kelly.
We do. I love being on the show and connecting with everybody and answering questions, and it just feels wonderful to me. So thank you guys. I appreciate you all.
All right, guys, thank you guys so much for being with us. Namaste, everyone. And once again, you're watching Seeing Beyond Living Transformed. And we'll see you back here next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. Eastern. Have a beautiful week, everyone.